This episode of Gli Cumbare is brought to you by Taralli d'Amore. Truly delicious and savory, authentic Italian breadsticks, crunchy and crispy to satisfy every palate. Located at 3357 Rue Mont-Soleil in Montreal, North Quebec, a visit is a must. www.tarallidamore.com 514-586-2987. Thank you, Taralli d'Amore, for your sponsorship and support. And now, back to our latest episode of Gli Cumbare. Hey everybody! Welcome to the Gli Cumbare Podcast. And we would just like to extend a very, very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all the best to everybody. May you be blessed and may you have a lot of drink.
What?
Cheers.
First of all, you started this whole podcast. It's a Gli Cumbare podcast.
Yes.
It's Christmas Eve.
Yes.
You started just by telling everyone, the viewers, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Needless to say, you're alone.
Yes.
So every podcast, people see her with Francesca.
But I haven't finished yet, Vanny.
No, I know you haven't finished because you wanted to drink before anything and just get the cheer out so you can gulp a fucking glass of wine.
Then 0% alcohol.
I am replacing Francesca tonight.
Yes, I was going to get to that.
Because Francesca decided, and watch me, Francesca, even though we all know, because you've said it publicly, that you don't really watch these podcasts. But watch this one because... Francesca, you are in Italy. How dare you take the time
to be in Italy?
Leave us here in this cold with snow outside and all this shit to go to Italy. You're not allowed doing that. And that's the last time you do it. Or else you're going to get fired from Gli Cumbare. How could you get fired?
I think you had a lot of drinks, man.
Well, my scotch is here and I'm enjoying it. But
yes.
It is a Christmas special, Lisa. It's we needed to do one because it's Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Gli Cumbare has come a long way.
It has. Oh, my God.
And so along with saying thank you to everyone who watches, everyone who subscribed, everyone who listens to the podcast, thank you. And happy holidays. It's very important that we want you to feel that because we truly mean it. But, we did come a long way. We've been doing this for...
2 years at least? More.
Way more.
3 years.
Way more.
3 years.
Like fucking 4.
God,
No.
4. And I still look younger than Vanny.
Well, hey, shut it. Okay, let's start with... We started before COVID.
Mm-hmm. We did.
So COVID was 2019. We're 2024. Just FYI. We're hitting
2024. We're hitting 2024.
Oh, yeah, like next week.
We're like the end. Just the tail end. We're still 2023.
So that was COVID-19. So we started like a year before. So we're talking 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So at the beginning, of course, we didn't do like we do it now. Like now we have something coming out every week. We're just fucking
We
monsters,
love
man.
it. We love it.
We pound out the podcast.
Yeah.
But we didn't start with podcasts as you all... I don't know if you all know. Like, I don't know...
I hope you all know.
Hope so. I don't know if the viewers now who watch the podcast are the same they used to watch the series.
Seems to be because we've grown in subscribers and thank you guys so much for that
maybe
too.
Those are all podcast listeners and not the series.
Well, we already had them with the series.
But are the people that were watching the series watching the podcast? We don't know. We have no idea.
Yes.
They are because we decided.
I decided.
Well, in case you're not, we started with a really cool series. I'm sure if you've listened to the podcast, you've heard us talk about it. It's a pretty fun series. And this is what this whole thing started many years ago with that.
Yeah.
And
oh, my God.
And in all that, we've had 4 seasons of some pretty funny shit.
Yep.
There was a lot of humor, a lot of... I don't know what you want to call it.
There was drama, humor. There was we had a
biker shit.
Yeah, like we had a big cast. And it's funny. I miss the cast in the sense that I miss, the dynamics of all the scenes. And I don't miss the time that it took to write the scenes, obviously. But it was a learning process. I think it was something that was enjoyable. So, sorry. So, it was that whole process, like all the actors and everybody who were involved and, different dialects, different regions of Italy. So it was fun. I think the whole concept behind creating the story behind the characters and whatnot was fun. And I like the fact that we sort of incorporated all of that into the podcast, in the sense that we brought all these characters back, not necessarily to life, but it's sort of the same actors, quote unquote, that you saw from the series to here. And then it's great because you get to see the actors that you enjoyed watching.
Well, in the end, so I mean, actors. Let's just put it. You're an actress, and you're a fantastic actress at that. And so Lisa was definitely she was in charge of all of that stuff. I used to help Lisa write, so we used to write episodes and keep this story going. The rest of us, I mean, I don't think we had a total combined of 8 minutes in experience in acting. I don't think anyone else had any experience.
You sort of learned as we went.
Well, so to say that I was acting, I kind of accentuated my character.
Real life?
Yeah, I took my real life character and I made it a little bit stupid and dumb, and that was my quote unquote acting. So I don't know if I was acting. I was having fun because I just, I was anything stupid, which that's my humor. What you see there is my humor, which if you catch me having a few drinks, that's the jokes I'm going to do. I'm going to pull a karate move and I'm going to do that.
Oh boy.
And if you watch the show, that's, and I think we all did that. We brought a piece of our character in the characters that we created. And you see the show evolve. Guys, you got to go watch it. It's a lot of fun.
It was really good. I think we still have our trailer up.
Yeah, that's because we're too lazy to remove the fucking
I think
trailer.
we still have our trailer, but it sort of gives a preempt into the season 3, which was really, I don't know, it was really dark, mysterious, but funny. There was a lot of comedy.
Yeah,
there's a lot of comedy. And there's something, if any Italian would know or be able to identify with the jokes that we had and whatnot. So it was funny in that sense.
And it's funny how we got into this podcast, because we were doing the series, we did 4 full seasons, and that's quite a bit. And a short film in there. And besides all of that, in between, because we couldn't come out with episodes every week, we would have shorts in there. So just funny little 2-3 minute skits just for fun to keep content coming out. But then I remember we were talking, it was like, okay, guys, it's 4 seasons.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. A lot of fun, but a lot of work for sure. And at a certain point, it's like, well, if fucking Seinfeld has an end, we need to, at a certain point, kind of say, okay, we've done what, I don't want to say what we could have kept going.
Yep.
But we don't want to recycle too many stories. And, the writing is good. But at a certain point, you kind of say, okay, but we didn't want to give it up.
No, we didn't want to give it up. Actually, we're still talking about it.
That's it. We didn't want to say, okay, let's stop everything. We're done. We're never going to film again. We had such a good vibe going that we said, well, let's turn it into a podcast. I think we can eventually make reference to the show as we're doing today.
Yeah.
And the show was based on Italian characters. So we had people from Italy. Lisa, actually, her character was all Italian. She had an
Italian accent.
Italian accent. And Leah, her character was only in Italian the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And then it transitioned her to speak a little bit of English.
Yeah, it was broken, but it was funny.
It was broken and funny. So, we didn't want to stop. So we put together this podcast to say, well, hey, let's keep the characters going. And it's an open book. Anytime any one of the characters want to come on, it's open. We can come here. We even have other people that just we're here doing other podcasts, and they sit in with us, and we talk about Italian,
everything Italian,
Canadian. Not necessarily Italian, but Italian Canadian, like our generation of Italians.
I think it's rooted in the Italian for sure.
It is. Sure. It is. But I mean, we talk a lot about food. Which culture doesn't? So we talk about Italian food.
Italians are very proud of their food.
Absolutely.
And their drink.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think that is the fundamental of being an Italian, even an Italian Canadian.
I'm really glad we put together this podcast. I mean, I think it's a lot of fun. If you saw last week, we had an episode just on Christmas traditions, just like Italian Christmas traditions, or our Christmas tradition in the end.
Of course, which included what? Food,
of course, mainly food. Yes,
that's it.
But it was funny because Francesca was there, and she has a different So Francesca came from Italy, 6 years ago or something like that?
I think so, around,
And 2 years in, she met us because she interviewed us. She saw our show. She's an Italian from Italy. She saw our web series on on YouTube.
Yep.
And called Lisa and myself to interview us on an Italian newspaper because she worked for the Italian newspaper.
Yep.
And we became friends with her, and we asked her to come on the show. So we had, and she's got the Italian accent, absolutely.
Oh, that's it.
And
it's
her
very
character,
authentic.
her character was a policeman,
A detective.
a detective that came from Italy. So I mean, we incorporated the real life, but she gives a different perspective because we're Canadian Italians, but she's an Italian,
Actually
Italian
from Italy. Yeah.
So we're talking about like Christmas traditions, and she's giving what they do in Italy, which is completely different than what we do here.
It's true.
Isn't that funny?
It's crazy.
It is.
When you think about it, and I think we're very proud here as Italian Canadians. I think we're very proud. But I find that we feel that we've come from Italy, but we really don't adopt much of what they have. We're very different.
Our parents kept a tradition when they came.
Exactly.
And it's 40 years ago, and they still know more than that.
A long
in
time.
the 60s.
Yeah,
the Italians in Montreal came in the mid 60s. So from then, they kept what they brought in the mid 60s, and it stayed here. So Italy has evolved, and different traditions and all that. Here we kept exactly what they had in the 60s.
Well, they say that Italy, where did I read this? That Italy is actually 2 years ahead of us.
They're like fucking 100 years ahead of us.
Yeah, of course.
We're behind.
Yeah. We're totally behind.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to the food, you can't be.
But isn't it funny that in Italy, like even the food has changed?
I know.
Right? In Italy, they have a lot of different things that we don't have. And I guess it's cultural too, but we didn't adopt that because we're not there, obviously. We're here. And so we've Americanized some of the Italian tradition.
Well, look, Italian weddings. Remember Francesca mentioned that they're not as big. They don't have as
Completely
much
different.
food.
Yeah.
It's total night and day.
Yeah.
Here we have to have like 8 courses, the midnight table, the sweet table, the aglio olio, you have the panino, you have this, you have that. Because we embellish. And then you have to throw all that out, which is peccat after.
Yeah, we eat too much,
We eat too much here, but we still...
let's you know what I can tell you the difference is from what I noticed when I went to Italy. We eat the same amount, but in Italy they take their time and
they eat later. They eat later.
Well, they eat later, but they're there for like 6 hours at a restaurant.
Yeah.
We do the same consumption in like fucking half an hour.
I know, it's bad.
Probably because the restaurant's busy. But I remember going to Italy and I literally one night we had one of my cousin's birthday parties.
Yeah.
So everyone was invited to the restaurant. And then another cousin on the other side, hey, we want to take you out tonight.
Ah,
for
nice.
dinner.
Yeah.
So my cousin's birthday party, we spent 7 hours at the restaurant.
Oh, nice.
We finished that. We went home. We kind of got changed, went to the next restaurant and spent another 6 hours.
Oh my God, that's so much fun.
But so they literally will have 4 or 5 courses, but there's like half an hour to an hour in between. They just chill. They eat a course. An hour passes.
Good.
Here in Canada, it's like, as you're finishing one, that fucking steak better be coming because I ordered that steak. So we eat the same amount, but in like 1 hour and we're out. Yeah. In Italy, they do the same amount in 6 hours.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
They pace themselves, but that's what I think.
And a wedding too. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Here, though, at a wedding, they start serving at what time? You would know this more than I would. They start serving at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, main meal.
Oh, main meal, yeah. You're looking at 9:30.
9:30.
Yeah.
There, they start eating at 10 o'clock at night.
I know. What the fuck?
Unless we're whining. We're like, it's so late. I'm so hungry. After we just had a buffet that can feed a half a world.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, we like our fair share of food, and I think we totally embellish. And I'm one to say I totally embellish, especially around the holidays. I cook a lot. And... we have leftovers.
We eat the Christmas meal for like New Year's and the fucking week after.
I feed the block. I could feed the block for how much I make. And my fridge, because I only have one, but I have a freezer and I have a canteen. Well, the canteen serves as a fridge too. But it's like food everywhere. Bottles of everything you can think of. So yeah, we kind of embellish it, which is a difference. But all of this to say, we adopted the from the series to the podcast itself is because we're talking about, being Italian Canadian and what we carried over and what we didn't carry over.
Yeah.
Right? So what the differences are, and there are major differences, but it doesn't stop us from going back to our cultural roots. That we're Italian and we're proud to be Italian.
We are Italian.
I know. I got it.
And it's a yes. You got my signal. I'm
I
trying
got
to.
your
I'm trying to be
trying to
covert.
tell me not to bang the table.
Yes, because all
it's
you hear
gonna.
is boom, 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 and I'm trying to be covert about it.
But we are Italian, so we're just
It's
very
all hands.
gesture
Look,
driven.
Look, I'm going to show you.
I'm
Go
all
do your hand.
hands.
Do it.
I'm
Do
all
it.
hands. I'm all hands.
Tutta mano.
I'm gesture driven.
Now, I do miss the shorts once in a while because we came up with some funny shorts and I'm glad. Like this podcast is kind of like a couple of shorts put together. Like we have little skits on it, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, we have it from time to time.
I
Sure.
enjoy. We do like Let's Get Quizzical. We do Steph's gigs. We do, of course, the food fucking Lisa's
Saporito,
Dolces, the
Dolce.
Saporito.
Director's cut.
Director's Cut is a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if you guys let us know if you have any comments, if if there's segments that you would like, if any skits that you would like, we would be glad to do it. I mean,
Of course.
Or if you want us to incorporate more of the show, because we try not to talk about it too much. And we're doing it today because it's a Christmas special, and we just wanted to, go back to the roots of how it started.
It gave birth to us.
It
basically.
did give birth to us.
Yes.
Yeah. We also did a short film in there.
Yeah,
too,
that was fun. That was fun. I can't say it was actually Italian based.
No, that one
But it was a
wasn't at all.
silent one. It
Yeah,
was a
Mexican
silent
based. Sorry. That was not nice.
one. But it was funny.
But it was
So,
fun.
Yeah. We also froze our asses, but that's another story.
Like what the fuck possessed us? Like think about it. We did a short film in the winter in Montreal, so that's all I'm going to say. We froze our balls off because of
Well, the males did anyway.
The what?
The males froze their balls off.
I definitely froze, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we did this short, you can check it out. It's on our channel. It's called When I Saw You There. And I mean, this movie, we did it into 4 shorts. So it was like, it's a 20-minute short film. I think it was really good for novices. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, of course.
But what possessed us? Like, it's not like someone paid us to do this. Let's just put it this way.
We paid somebody else.
we put in our money. It wasn't much, but our time. And if time is worth money, then
we put in a lot of money.
lot of fucking money. And we did this in the middle of winter, and for continuity purposes, like 3/4 of the fucking short film, I had no jacket on because I started it with a trench coat. And I had to keep that little fall trench coat. And it's -20 outside, motherfucker.
Me too. And we were
Right?
lying on the ice.
Remember I gave you a jacket or something?
Yeah. And I freaking froze.
And like I had at one scene I had to die. So I got shot and I had to fall on the floor and I landed on a piece of ice. And we needed to shoot that scene like 8 times. And it was like 2 hours on this ice cube. My feet were fucking frozen. It was, and this is for like I put my own money and time to do this. Like what the fuck? I don't know, man.
I know, but when you look back at it, can't you just sort of say, I appreciate what I did?
I also say what an idiot, but whatever.
We all do, but in the sense of you have to appreciate what was done. And now that you look back on it, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
wow.
It was fun, though.
It was fun.
fun.
It was an
It's-
experience. You could say it was done.
It's definitely an experience.
Yeah.
It's definitely I'm kidding around what possessed, but I took a lot from that. I learned a lot from that. What goes in to a short film, I can't even imagine a real fucking feature film. It's crazy shit. But it's a lot of fun. And I'm glad because all of that knowledge and stuff brought us to this podcast.
Yep.
Brought us to another full year of podcasting on all our channels.
Yeah.
It brought us to Christmas. You're having a glass of wine. I'm having some scotch over here.
Yeah, exactly.
It
brought us to a calmer place, I think.
It brought us to a
right
calmer
now,
place. But we
in
wanted
the studio.
we wanted to discuss our roots. If you guys want to go check it out, then you can see what we're talking about. But again, like I said at the beginning, and like I'm going to say now, this is a Christmas cheer to say happy holidays, to say thank you for watching and subscribing and all of the stuff you do. Thank you for giving us a platform to do it and for giving us a reason to do it because let's put it this way. If there's nobody's watching this, what the fuck am I doing here on a Wednesday night till this time? Right?
Exactly. It's sort of, this is a feel-good podcast. We want you to feel good.
Feel good.
Feel good. And why do you have to feel good? Because you have to remember who you are and always be proud of who you are. And don't let anybody else tell you you can't eat.
What the hell?
I don't know. I'm just ranting. It's a rant. Italians rant.
No, she's going into an acting skit. Like she's
No!
like channeling her the commercial she saw at 2 a.m. yesterday.
My inner Italo chromosomes.
There
My
you go.
Italo zones.
What the hell is that?
My Italo zones.
Gotcha.
So you have to. It's a feel good. It's a new year is approaching. Changes, betterment for everybody, and I'm getting the scissors, which means I have to cut it out.
Oh, nice! That's a good one.
I know. So
Let's
guys,
give a cheer. Let's say happy holidays.
you just
Salud.
did.
No, I'm saying salud.
Well, not just me, but I said at the beginning.
Let's do it again.
Oh, some of us are so picky. So, guys, wishing you all the very best. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and so many wonderful, special moments for yourself, and be the best you can possibly be, and drink in the process because you'll smile more.
Salud, guys. Till the
Salud.
next one in the new
Bye.
year. Ciao.
Bye. Salud.